The US is home to some of the most spectacular scenery in the world and some of the most recognizable icons on the planet. Many of the top attractions in the United States are bucket list destinations, drawing visitors from around the world. Tourism in the United States is a large industry that serves millions of international and domestic tourists yearly. Foreigners visit the US to see the natural wonders, cities, historic landmarks, and entertainment venues. Americans seek similar attractions as well as recreation and vacation areas. Compiling a list of places to see is step one, but keep in mind, given the size of the United States, most people plan their trips to a specific region. For anyone in the enviable position of having unlimited time and resources, these are the top attractions to include on your itinerary. 10th is Chicago. It's no surprise that Chicago is one of the finest tourist destinations in the country. There are Chicago museums that rank among the world's best, gorgeous parks in Chicago, and some of the friendliest city dwellers out there. With so much to see and do, it can be tough for visitors to decide which Chicago attractions are really worth experiencing. Whether you're an out-of-towner or a tried-and-true Chicagoan planning a staycation, this list of best Chicago attractions will satisfy you as well as your touring convenience. Chicago has all offerings you'd expect from a major city: world-class museum, vibrant shopping district, and ample nightlife venues, just to name a few. If you're here to learn, plan to spend a fair amount of time in Grand Park. Take a boat cruise through the heart of the city, see your reflection in the bean, step outside one of the world's tallest buildings. We've rounded up some of the city's must-see sites, iconic attractions, and top tours to add to your itinerary. And don't miss attraction passes for reduced admissions to museums, activities, and beyond. Next up is Orlando. The city of Orlando is located in one of the world's most visited tourist regions, which draws tens of millions of visitors every year. Among its principal tourist attractions are Walt Disney World, SeaWorld Orlando, and Universal Orlando. The establishment of these mega amusement parks has encouraged other investors, and there are nearly limitless hotels, motels, and resorts in the Orlando area. Thousands of restaurants, dozens of golf courses, and numerous other attractions and things to do. While many people think of Orlando as only a family destination dominated by activities targeted at children, adults will find plenty to keep them entertained as well. There's no limit to the many adventures and exciting times that awaits in Orlando, a city that inspires by dream and wonder. Eighth on the list is Miami. Miami is one of the nation's most well-rounded metropolitan destinations. It has a special arts scene, tons of shopping, family attractions, and the hotspot of Miami Beach. Vibrant and charged with the energy of Caribbean rhythms, Miami means big city sophistication and seductive beaches to those who plug into its unique brand of electric charge. From outdoor adventures to art museums and historic sites, choose your own adventures among Miami's top attractions. Visitors to Greater Miami will discover a whole wide world of exciting attractions, from the natural wonders of Everglades National Park and to the postcard-perfect architecture of South Beach's Art Deco Historic District. Creating your perfect itinerary means choosing from the nearly endless variety of exciting options. With so much things to do in Miami, there's no surprise that the city is considered as the second highest number of international visitors in the United States. Seventh is Los Angeles. With so many world's famous sites and attractions to visit, deciding on the best things to do in Los Angeles can be a bewildering task. If you're only in town for a short time, you could spend all your trips wandering around LA's essential museums without even making it to the Hollywood. This city is big and stuffed with so many worthwhile experiences that you'll never be asking yourself what to do. So expect to put in the miles taking in everything it has to offer. From the beaches of Santa Monica to the vibrant historic streets of the Art District and super hip Silver Lake, there are so many great places to visit and things to see. It can be hard knowing where to start and what to fit in. LA covers a huge amount of land, so it's no surprise that the attractions in Los Angeles is equally impressive. If you're a tourist looking for things to do, you'll find plenty of vacation inspirations. And this fantastic destination needs to be on your list. If you're visiting West Coast USA or if you're looking for somewhere new to explore, it's got to be LA. Sixth is Las Vegas. This city in the desert is known around the world for fun and excitement. The Strip, Las Vegas' famous resort-lined streets, sparkles with lights and recreated glamorous sights from cities around the world. Many of the hotel attractions and of themselves and features free street-side shows, from dancing fountains to erupting volcanoes. You'll also find interesting museums, an always impressive list of shows, and countless other things to do. The Grand Canyon is just a short helicopter ride away, and the hills and mountains surrounding Las Vegas are home to all kinds of recreational opportunities, from hiking and camping to boating and skiing. Las Vegas is a great place to visit year-round. The cooler winter temperatures are pleasant for sightseeing. Las Vegas is a city like no other. The cosmopolitan city is like a big playground offering a lot of things to see and do, particularly on the Strip, where you'll find endless restaurants, shops, casinos, and adventures on every corner. Make the most of your vacation by exploring must-see attractions in Las Vegas. Heading to fifth spot is Washington, D.C. There are a lot of things to do in Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. District of Columbia, as it is officially called, is a federal district located between Virginia and Maryland that has nothing to do with the state of Washington, which is located at the other end of the country. Washington, D.C. is a city that was planned to be the capital of the United States. It was carefully designed to be a beautiful city with infinite attractions for tourists. With small buildings, large gardens, and tons of tourist attractions to visit, Washington, D.C. is nothing like other cities in the United States. The Capitol building is one of the essential places to visit in Washington, D.C. It is a symbol not only of the city but also of the United States, so you cannot miss it. The number of historic buildings and monuments in Washington, D.C. can be overwhelming, with the U.S. Capitol and Lincoln and Martin Luther King Jr. memorials just three of many classic places to see in the U.S. capital city. Plan your trip to the nation's capital with our list of the top attractions in Washington, D.C. Fourth is New Orleans. New Orleans is one of America's most unique cities, with a vibe you simply can't find anywhere else. Known the world over the jazz music, Cajun cuisines, and outrageous Mardi Gras celebrations. The city is a melting pot of cultures with a diverse that is reflected in everything from the music and food to the language and architecture. Most of the action for tourists is centered around the French Quarter, with the infamous Bourbon Street at the heart of the district, along the Mississippi River, which borders our French Quarter to the south, are horse-drawn carriages with waiting to take visitors on a tour. The steamboat docks along the shore, and tourists line up to buy big nets. Beyond the French Quarter, the city has many quaint areas worth exploring, from the trendy warehouse district to the posh garden district. New Orleans is a great walking city, with many of the main things to see and do located or near the French Quarter, but to explore the garden district. Whether you're an art aficionado, a history buff, or just looking to experience the city's rich history and culture on a deeper level, you'll find a variety of attractions that are sure to pique your interests. Next up is San Francisco. Set along the ocean, with rolling hills and the iconic Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco is one of the most beautiful cities in the United States and the jewel of Northern California. The city is full of history, great neighborhoods, parks, beaches, museums, and a whole host of entertainment options and things to do. Some of the most famous attractions are Alcatraz Island and Fisherman's Wharf, but the sightseeing possibilities are extensive. San Francisco's Chinatown is the largest of its kind in North America and definitely worth visiting. For an interesting experience, hop on one of the historic cable cars and tour the city. Active types and nature lovers will find plenty to love about San Francisco. You'll likely hit these top spots and more on a guided tour of the city. The San Francisco attractions are consistently beautiful and a must-see for tourists and locals alike. Second is Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is one of the most remarkable American attractions and draws a tremendous amount of visitors from all over the globe. Curious travelers take part in a range of activities and destinations offered in or near the canyon. Grand Canyon tourist attractions and main location includes the North and South Rim, a hike trip via the famous Bright Angel or South Kaibab trails, and a sightseeing tour around the rim's edge in Grand Canyon Village. Regardless of the option chosen, the canyon provides a variety of opportunities for enjoyment and features breathtaking panoramas and incredible sights. This magnificent wonder of nature spreads up to 277 miles, and its rocky walls reach deep down its floor. Right there at the bottom, one can hear the roar of the Colorado River and see from a different perspective. Iconic location boasting scenic beauty. You will certainly find your trip to the Grand Canyon and the surrounding attractions fun and exhilarating. And top one is New York City. The task of choosing a handful of top attractions to represent the entire state of New York is not an easy one, thanks to its nearly endless number of things to see and do, from the historic and to most contemporary. New York City is undeniably the state's most popular tourist destinations and packed with famous attractions. The borough of Manhattan is home to many of the city's top destinations, like Central Park, Times Square, the Empire State Building, and much more. New York State is home to the most populated city in the United States, sprawling national and state parks, the beach communities that captivate both domestic and international travelers. New York is a city every traveler should visit. Whether you come from a day trip or for an extended stay, choosing what to see and do is toughest part. The possibilities are endless here in New York. Even if you are not mesmerized by the city's soaring skyscrapers and monuments, you'll be blown away by its flourishing arts, food, fashion, and nightlife scenes.